Welcome to Cam Look, your twice weekly dose of art from the Cincinnati Art Museum. Join us Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. for a new look and conversation around pieces from the collection. I am Carrie Atkins Maras. I'm the Associate Director for Community Engagement here at the Cincinnati Art Museum. I'm the one in the middle in this photo, and we are going to talk about some pieces by artist Elizabeth Catlett and talk about some connections with the Charles White exhibition that is coming to the museum this fall. This is Elizabeth Catlett. She was born in 1950. Her paternal and maternal grandparents were both enslaved, and she grew up with a strong sense of African American identity and history. She was raised by a single parent. Her father died right before she was born, and she became an educator, an artist, an activist, and her life took some twisty turns that are fascinating and inspiring. We're going to talk more about how this kind of came to be, but Elizabeth Catlett married artist Charles White in 1941, and they have so much more in common than just being married that I think it's worth unpacking a little bit. But for now, we'll just say that they were married in 1941, they were divorced in 1946, and I didn't realize this until I began researching Charles White for the upcoming exhibition Charles White A Little Higher, which opens November 10th this fall and closes February 25th, 2024. So it runs through the holiday season, and I very much hope you can get in to see the exhibition of Charles White and also check out Elizabeth Catlett's work at the museum while you're there. Okay, back to Catlett. So she studied at Howard University. She received a graduate degree from University of Iowa, and she met so many influential and remarkable artists that we could spend the whole Cam Look just listing those. But I think more importantly, for those that are looking at the Cincinnati Art Museum's collection, she studied with Grant Wood, and I feel like you can see some of that influence in her work. But she landed a teaching position and allowed for summers in Chicago, where she went to the Art Institute of Chicago and also studied at the Southside Community Center, which allowed her to run into Charles White. So after Catlett moved to Mexico, she divorced White, married Francisco Moya, who she had 3 children with, and then, because of the content of her work and her activism, was declared an undesirable alien by the U.S. Embassy and denied entrance to the United States. She renounced her American citizenship and became a Mexican citizen, and didn't get her citizenship back until 2002. So she considered herself a Mexican citizen and lived and worked in Mexico for a large portion of her life. This bronze sculpture of Phillis Wheatley by Catlett is actually the focus object for today's conversation, and you can find it on the second floor of the Cincinnati Art Museum. It's very significant in terms of Catlett's work because it's so representative of her style and the way that she honored African American heroes and historical figures. I hope you have enjoyed learning a little bit about Elizabeth Catlett and come into the museum to see us soon. Thanks so much.